For these problems, we are going to write the standard form of the equation of the circle with given center and given radius. So we're given this information, we're going to the standard form of the equation. And so we can plug straight in. We have x minus 4 squared plus y minus 9 squared equals r squared, and so this should be 16. For our second one, with our center -1, -4, when we start to plug in, I'm going to just write this first. So the formula is x minus h and y minus k. All right, and since it's already negative, we're going to have to put a plus here. So that would be minus a -1. And for our y, this would be plus 4, which is minus a -4. And to square our r, 3 squared would be 9. So this is our standard form of the equation for our second set of information. This is our third problem. So our center is at 0, -4. So if we have 0 here, we're just going to have x squared. Right? And for a -4, we need to have minus a -4. So it needs to be y plus 4. And to square our r, square root of 2 squared would just give us 2. So x squared plus y plus 4 squared equals 2. For our next problems, we're going to be given the general form of the equation of the circle, which has everything on one side, 0 on the other side. We're going to convert this to standard form, and to do that we will actually complete the square twice. And once we have it, then by completing the square twice, we will have standard form and we can read off our information that we need and draw the graph. So first we will move our x's together. So we have x squared plus 6x. Right? And I'm just going to work with that piece. So I'm going to find my magic number to complete that square. And we'll put our equals over here somewhere. So I have a 0. All right, and I'm going to move that 6. So we're going to take half of 6, which is 3, square it, which is 9, and that is what I'm going to add. I have to do the same over here. Right, and this will factor to x plus 3 times x plus 3, which is x plus 3 squared. Okay. Then I'm going to turn the y's into a perfect square. So I have y squared plus 2y. And I have to find my number to add. So I'm going to take half of 2, which equals 1, square it, which is still 1, and that's what we're going to add to both sides. So I'm going to switch colors here. So I'm going to add the 1. Right, and now I can factor these. Which is y plus 1 squared. And on this side, I have 10 minus 6 is 4. So now I am in standard form for the circle. And I can read off, now remember it's x minus h. So my center is going to be -3. So this is x minus a -3. So my center is going to be -3. And this is minus a -1. So -1. My radius, this is r squared, so my radius will be 2. And I was also asked to graph that. So -3, -1. That's the center. Remember, it's not really on the circle. And my radius is 2. So 2 this way, 2 this way, 2 this way, and 2. Then we just connect to have our circle, those outside. And you could do domain and range if you were asked to. Your domain, your leftmost point, 1, 2, 3, 4, -5, -1, and range lowest to highest, -3, 2, 1. So we're going to do the same thing on this next problem. We are in general form with everything on one side. We're going to convert to standard form by completing the square twice, and then we will pick off the center and the radius. Right, so I want to work with my x's first. I'm just going to regroup them together. So x squared minus 4x, and I'm going to leave some space for my number that I have to add. And over here, I am going to get rid of this 13. So I am going to take the 13 off, right? And I'm going to find my number that I have to add. So I'm doing half my coefficient of the x, which is -4. This gives me -2. Square it, and this gives me 4. So that is the number I'm going to add here, and I'm going to add it over here. And so now I can factor. This is going to be x minus 2 squared. Right. Then I'll work on the y's. So I'm going to group the y's together. And I'm going to find my number that I have to add right here. So I have to take half the coefficient of y, which gives me a -5, square it, which gives me 25, and that is what I'm adding to both sides. So I'm doing plus 25 and plus 25. So on the left here, this is going to factor to y minus 5, which is y minus 5 squared, right? And so I'm going to add these together. That looks like 29 minus 13, which should give me 16. And now I am in standard form. So I can read off my center, and I'm in the x minus h squared form. So 2, and that is not a plus. That was my pen. That was a minus. All right, so 2, and this is also y minus k, so 5. My radius will be the square root of 16, which will be 4. And we can draw the graph. So 2, 5, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. And this is going to go off my grid a little bit. My radius is 4, so I'm up 2 and up 2 more. So there is your picture, and this would be a good place to just add and subtract your radius for your domain, because we're kind of off the picture. So for our domain, with the x-coordinate, if we go with 2, if we subtract 4, 2 minus 4 will give us -2, and 2 plus 4 would give us 6. So -2 and 6. And for range, 5 minus 4 would give us 1. And 5 plus 4 would give us 9. So we're going to have one more problem that we do the same thing to. We are in general form of the equation of the circle. We're going to switch to standard form by completing the square twice, and then pick off the center and the radius. Right, so we're going to group the x's together. X squared minus 6x. Right, we're going to find the number that we're going to add, and also I should get rid of this 10, so I'm going to add this 10. Getting this one off. All right, so I am doing half times -6, which gives me -3. I'm going to square it, which gives me 9. And I'm adding that to both sides. All right, so now I can factor. I have x minus 3 squared. All right, then I'll do the y's. So I have y squared plus 10y. We'll find our number, so we're going to take half of 10, which is 5, square it, which is 25, and that is what we'll add to both sides. Sorry, I got this a little messy over here. All right, now I can factor on this side. So I have y plus 5 and y plus 5, which is y plus 5 squared. Over here, let's see, I have 10, 25, and 9. So 35 plus 9 would be 44. And so I'm in the proper form. I can pick off. So this is x minus h. So I have a 3 there. Right. This is y minus -5. So I have a -5. And my radius will be the square root of 44. And I can simplify that a little bit. It's 4 times 11, and 4, the square root is 2. So this is 2 times the square root of 11. This one's not very pretty to graph, but if you were going to graph, you need to do something with this 2 times the square root of 11. So let's go to the calculator for that. So I have 2 times square root of 11, close, enter, 6.63. So I'm going to round it just to 6.6. And it's going to be approximate then. this circle is not going to be really good because we're going to go off my grid, but we'll try it. So if we have 3, -5, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. This is the center. And we estimated to 6.6. So we're going up 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, and probably about right here. And this way 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, and probably about right here. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, and a little bit more. And 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, and a little bit more. And I'm not sure that that's really worth anything to you, but that's how you would have to do a graph for it. You just have to estimate for this. And that's the hard part. That was not a nice number.